everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my new Google Sheets habit tracker. This is one of my favorite templates that I've created. I think it turned out so useful and so pretty. Obviously the useful part is more important, but it never hurts to make it pretty as well. So in this video I'm going to give you a tour of how it works, all the features that I included. If you've seen my templates before, you know that I love adding really cool features into them. I'm very excited to show you what I came up with for this one, and I really hope you like it and you find it useful. So let's get into it. This is an example of what the template looks like once you start filling it out. These two tables at the top, these are the main feature of the template. This is the habit tracker, but down below I also included a space for numeric trackers. So if you need to keep track of things like your water intake, the number of hours that you slept, pages that you read, your mood, you get to create your own list in here and you can keep track of those numbers as well. And then down below I also added a weekly to-do list. So if there's any random tasks that are unique to each week, you can add them down here. And I also included a space for notes. So those are all the sections that are included, and every single week looks exactly the same. And you can track a maximum number of 13 weeks on a single tab. So once you're done with 13 weeks, you have to start over on a new blank tab. So initially the template is going to be undated. So you get to decide the date in which you want to start tracking. And that can be absolutely any day, any year. You don't have to start in January. If you want to start on a random Wednesday, you can do that. All you have to do is double click on this cell, pick any start date that you want, select the number of weeks that you want to track, and then your dates for that same number of weeks are going to get filled out automatically. And your current week, for me, that's this one in this example. Today is March 13. That week is always going to be highlighted automatically in a different color so you can easily locate it. So once you set a start date and decide the number of weeks that you're going to be tracking, you can start working on your template. So let me give you a quick overview of each section. As I mentioned, these first two tables over here, this is the main feature, this is the habit tracker. They are two separate tables that work exactly the same way. So the reason why I added two tables is so that you could separate your habits into two different categories if you want to, completely optional, and you can name these two tables however you want. So I did non-negotiable habits in the first table, nice to have habits in the second table, but you could also do morning and evening habits, you could do personal and work. And the cool thing about this is that once you start tracking, you're gonna see your progress for each week separately. So this progress bar will only show you your progress for the first table, and then this one will show you your progress for the second table. So if you wanted to do personal at the top and then work at the bottom, you would see your bar progressing separately. So you can use both tables or you can use just one of them. I'm gonna just bring it back to how it was. So both of them work exactly the same way. They are both gonna be initially empty, so you get to add your own habits in here. So once you create your list of habits, the next step is to set a goal for the number of times per week that you want to complete each habit. So you scroll all the way to week 1 and you add your goal in this section right here. So in this example, I want to wake up early 5 times per week. So that's the number that I set. Make my bed every day, do strength training only 2 times per week. And what's going to happen with this feature, I'm just going to uncheck every single box very quickly. What's going to happen is that once you start tracking and you check the same number of boxes that you set as your goal, you're going to reach 100%. So over here, for example, my goal is to do yoga 1 time this week. So if I only check 1 box, I'm going to reach 100%. And that's going to happen for every single one of these habits. So one of the coolest things about this template is that you don't have to check every single box every single day. You can set goals for the number of times per week that you want to complete a habit. And the second coolest thing about this template is that you can adjust your goals every single week. So initially, whatever you set in the first week, that's what you're going to see on every single week after that. As you can see, I changed the number to 7, for example, and every single week after that changes. But if you want to make adjustments for whatever reason, life happens, work happens, maybe you were overdoing it the previous week. So if you need to change your goals, all you have to do is delete the default value and then pick a new number from the drop down. And then the next week, if you feel that you can do better, again, you can delete that goal and you can set a new one. So you can use this however you want. You'll always reach 100% when you check the same number of boxes that you set as your goal. And then again, every single week after that works the same way. And this second section down below, it works the same way. The only difference is that it gets tracked separately. And once you start tracking, you're gonna see this section right here. These are your summaries. These get filled automatically. So what you're gonna be seeing here in this table is your overall progress for every week that has passed. And then this right here, this is my favorite thing, because what you're gonna see is the number of boxes that you checked every single week for each of your habits. And you're gonna see them all in here together, and you're also gonna see an average. So I woke up early 5 times this week, 5, 7. So I love having these numbers all together in this one table. I think it's so useful. And then up here, you're gonna be seeing the percentage that you achieved each week for each of your 2 sections. So over here, I did 41% on my non-negotiable and 100% on my nice to have. That's what you're gonna be seeing over here. So you're gonna see the percentage that you achieved every single week for both of these sections, and then you're gonna see an overall average for each section, and then an average for both sections together. So that's the habit tracker. And then down below, you have your numeric trackers. So over here, you're gonna find 2 tables. The first table is meant for things that you want to do more of, and then the second table is meant for things that you want to do less of. And similar to the habit tracker, you set a goal at the beginning of the week, and then you track the actual numbers for every single day. And then an average is going to be shown automatically. So in this first table, if your average is equal or above your minimum goal, you're going to see a check mark. Now, I also added a second table meant for the things that you want to do less of. So if you want to watch less TV, instead of setting a minimum value, you're going to set a maximum. So I want to watch a maximum of 1 hour every single day, and then you're going to track what actually happened. So the average, again, it is shown automatically. And then as long as your average is below your maximum value, you're going to see a check mark. So the difference between these 2 tables, the one with the things that you want to do more of and the one with the things that you want to do less of, is that in the first one, you set a minimum value. In the second one, you set a maximum value as your goal. And similar to the habit trackers, you can delete the value that you set by default in the first week and then make adjustments every single week after that. And then a summary for your numeric trackers is also going to be created automatically. What you're going to be seeing here is the average for every single one of these weeks. And then an average for every week that has passed will also be shown automatically. And finally, below each numeric tracker, you're also going to find a to-do list, pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is add your tasks and use the checkboxes to track your progress. And you have a space for notes, which you can use however you prefer. So that's a general overview of how each of these sections work. As I mentioned, you can track a maximum of 13 weeks on a single tab, and then after you're done with those 13 weeks, you have to start over on a new blank tab. Super simple. You can keep as many tabs as you want within the same file. All you have to do is create a copy from the blank original. So this one here, the one with the lock, that's your blank original. So whenever you need to start over, all you have to do is right click on this tab, select the option duplicate. You can double click to rename it, my new habit tracker tab. You set your start date, you set the number of weeks that you want to track, you decide what you're going to be using your 2 sections for, and you're ready to start working. So that's it for the quick tour. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. I hope that it inspired you in some way to either start tracking your habits or to create pretty spreadsheets. If you would like to watch a more detailed video, I'm gonna leave the link to the full tour video in the description. If you already have the template, it's a great idea to watch that video and follow along while you're filling out your own version. And if you don't have the template, you can find the link to purchase it in the description. So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching.